Hello, greetings. Judy here. So I've been thinking about you and wondering how you're doing, how these tools I've been presenting are working for you. And today I'm so excited. This is day 5. This is about posture and body language and how does it portray to others. Um, it actually portrays quite a bit. Our body language is something we all can read as humans. And so, what is our body language saying to the world? And what would you like it to say? I'm going to share a few tips with you today that are really extraordinary in their ability to transform what we project and also feel eventually ourselves. So, here's an exercise for you. Next time you're out walking around where other people are, take a look at the people you see that look attractive, look confident, and just see what you observe. And then look at others that you wonder, are they in pain? Is it physical pain? Is it emotional pain? Certainly we're doing this with, a sense of compassion because we're pretty much all hurting is the way I see it. So just tuning into your body right now. Just have a seat, get comfortable, get a pillow behind your upper back, mid-back, so that you can do this exercise to its full capacity. Just close your eyes and feel where you are in space. How does your body feel? Are you feeling any physical pain in your body at the moment? I'm going to share with you a couple of things that can help you get out of it relatively quickly. I've been teaching posture and stride and movement therapy and body language for 30 years now, and it is an extraordinary set of information that can help us quickly with our self-esteem. So just tuning into your body. Do you feel pain in any part of your body? Hips, shoulders, back. And if you give it a scale number between 0 and 10, any pain or tension you're feeling, neck, shoulders, wherever. 0 is no pain, 10 is a lot of pain. And just note it. Because, I actually would love to show you my posture 30 years ago when I did not know about this information. And that is not up at the moment. Okay, I'll try to get that up in the window boxes ahead for you in the attachments to the course. So basically, if you could imagine someone whose head is way forward, leaning back with the torso and a very swayed back, that was my original posture. And at that time, I was 30, I think. I was trying to stay fit and trim by not only running, but also doing triathlons. And I thought, if I'm not running all the time, maybe my body won't hurt as much. But what I found out was that adding more stress to a body that was, let's see, kind of, how do I get that? Kind of, here's my head leaning forward. Here's my torso leaning back. I had a lot of compression in my spine, and trying to add on swimming and biking, my body just started to hurt even more. But in a way, it was a blessing because I started to study biomechanics. That's the science of posture and stride and how we move. And so the immediate answer was to learn how to lift up through my spine. And if you imagine that there's a string, if you imagine actually your spine at the top of your neck vertebrae, go all the way up through your head and come out sort of the back toward the back of your head, not the center of your head, because if you lift up, you're likely to lift your chin. But, the button on a baseball cap, that's a good place to imagine just lifting up out of that zigzag shape that may be in your body as it was in mine. Just lifting up out of that compression. So here's what compression looks like. Just as if you have a ton of bricks on your spine and it's just squishing you. In this position, it's really hard to breathe. And you can see how all the little discs in between each vertebra just get squished. And what that does is injure the nerves coming out of the spinal column. So each of those set of nerves tracks to an organ system that needs to function better. And the way to get out of it, one good way, is to learn to lift up tall into that spot. Lift up tall. And you look like $1,000,000 when you lift up tall through your spine. Again, like everything, this takes practice. So with time, you'll be able to hold yourself up. You'll be using your musculature as it was meant to be used. But even if you just go out on a date tonight or out for dinner with your friends and you just lift up occasionally every time you think of it, tall into your spine, you will look like somebody who has a lot of confidence. And you probably get tired and have to let it go. You'll forget. But in those moments that you're lifted tall, you look elegant, you look strong, you look confident. And that's what this course is all about. Now, here's a thing that happens for most people when they think about lifting tall through the spine. What often happens is we're thinking, wow, yeah, I can feel that. Half your body weight is above the waist. So you start to lift your torso up out of your hips. It takes a lot of pressure out of your hips. And as an aside, those muscles around your waist start to cinch in. So you look like you have a smaller waist because you're lifting up. But what you want to avoid is lifting your shoulders up as well. And this is where a lot of people hang out because there's so much tension in the world today, right? So here's a trick. Lift up tall through your spine and see if you can challenge yourself to let your shoulder girdle drop. Believe it or not, your shoulder girdle is not attached to your spine bone to bone. It is a free-floating piece of structure that is attached by tendons and muscles and whatnot. And I remember seeing the medical skeletons in the anatomy teaching labs where I worked, and it was pretty funny because they're all screwed in by the shoulder blades to a rib or two to keep the whole thing from falling apart. So isn't that interesting? Good. So just like your shoulders are this heavy winter coat on a wire hanger, right? So they're dropping at their full weight, but you're still lifted up through your spine. Looking really good there. Now, another piece that happens is our shoulder girdle. If you imagine arm to arm socket, like a roll of paper towels, what often happens when we get depressed or hurt emotionally by people is we tend to do this. We tend to roll that paper towel roll down and forward. And then there's compression added in, right? Which is a sinking down of your spine. Now, as you lift up, think about also rotating that shoulder, that paper towel roll up and out in that direction. That unfurls your head off your spine. So rotate that shoulder girdle back and up. And then your head naturally comes up on top of your spine. You don't have to think about getting your head on top of your spine that way, because that's even more compression and pain probably. So just rotating that shoulder girdle, the shoulder to shoulder paper towel backward and up. And what will happen is this dancer's string on the sternum that they're taught to lift up and away at 45 degrees. Now that looks like an open-hearted, confident person. And I get that just by shifting these body parts, we may not feel this right away. It takes time to ingrain actually feeling confident, but you will look it and you'll eventually feel it. When I was growing up, my family was in the military, and we moved all over the world, a lot of different countries. I think it was 5 different continents actually before I was 6 years old. So I had very little confidence because of that. And as a young gal growing up, because I didn't have a lot of confidence, that slouched shoulder was a good way to hide my chest. I didn't want to attract any attention from boys, so that was a good way to hide it. And I get that as you lift your chest up and out, you are going to, if you're a woman, be presenting your chest to the world, and there's some emotional shift that has to happen there to make that feel more comfortable and not as vulnerable. And tapping is a great way to help release those old painful feelings so that you can feel more confident. About half of us on the planet have breasts, so let's shine our light from our heart and feel confident about being women, yeah, and men too, of course. This is a place of vulnerability for both of us, and standing up tall and lifting your heart out to the world is the truth of who you are. So if you think about a dancer or someone who's taken the martial arts or Pilates or yoga, this positioning of the torso is called neutral in all those disciplines, and Qigong as well. It's neutral because it's the way the human body is supposed to stand. If we come into this life and we're given some encouragement and whatnot, often we'll stand taller and be in this neutral position. I wasn't taught it, and a lot of my clients haven't been taught it, but it looks so good and it feels so good. As you lift up, you'll be getting out of pain. What else did I want to say here? Yeah, it's if you imagine a big-hearted king or queen, someone who is, what's the word, grows up knowing that they are the concept of majesty, of full potential, say, and I'm talking about if you think of someone in their biggest potential in a good way, not domination and all that sort of thing, but just the full potential of a king or queen. That is the same place that you and I deserve to stand in everyday life. So those are the 2 pieces I wanted to share, and I'll put my posture picture in to the attachment to this video. I just want to say lastly that this neutral posture is very attractive. It's full of strength and knowingness that you deserve to be in your full potential. Use tapping to release your old pain. And with practice, Qigong as well, we'll do a little bit of that tomorrow, the next day actually. We will feel more full in our body, mind, and spirit. So this is a series that will show you several pieces to bring it all together into alignment. So thank you for joining me. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please comment, let me know how you're doing. All of this is great information that has helped a lot of people, myself included, and I wanted to share it with you. And by the way, I'll also add a link. I must have a hair in my face here because it's itchy. Sorry. I'll share a link to my video school that has a video series called The Attractiveness of Great Body Language, using your posture and stride. And it takes you through the full training. And I hope you enjoy that too. Talk soon. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Have a good one. Yeah. Take good care. Bye-bye.